Hallo Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Episode von Let's Play Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. In der letzten Folge haben wir uns sehr viel mit der Hintergrundgeschichte der Familie Ritter und ihrer Verbindung zu einer gewissen Sklavin namens Tetelo beschäftigt. Heute befinden wir uns wieder im Hier und Jetzt, oder zumindest so sehr im Hier und Jetzt, wie man sich an einem Ort wie diesem hier befinden kann, und werden mit der guten Madame Moonbeam sprechen, die vielleicht den einen oder anderen Hinweis für unsere Ermittlungen zu bieten hat. Auf geht's.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
Of course, Seeker. Das ist überhaupt nicht übertrieben, ne? Okay, fangen wir mal vorne an. Und Johannes tagt natürlich als letztes, ne?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodooienne's work is protecting her clients from the spells of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Mr. Knight.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodooienne's power. If people don't believe, there's not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur. Things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antennae, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
Nolans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know, quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Wirklich?
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Sankar means?
No, I don't.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndful?
There are many voodoo churches in Nolans, no?
Yes, but have you heard of a secret voodoo houndful?
Wherever did you hear such a ridiculous story? There is no such thing.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
It is the oldest, darkest heart of voodoo.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
There are some things it's better not to know about, Monsieur Knight.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard the word Schattenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How did you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I'm a voodooian. That is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodooians are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course, the level and the power of the voodooians differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in Nolans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I'm well versed in the magical arts.
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Tell me anything at all.
Dr. John sends me many seekers, such as yourself.
Tell me anything at all.
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind.
Yes, I'm a voodooian, a voodoo priestess.
Nice place you've got here.
Thank you. For me, it's a sort of temple.
I can see that. Do you get many people in here on an average day?
Some days, the need for my power is greater than others. But I have many regular clients who would be lost without my vision, Mr. Knight.
I can imagine. That's a great-looking mask on the wall.
It's from Africa. A gift to me from Queen Tabitha.
Do you know Dr. John well?
Oh, yes. We are old friends. Those with gifts are often drawn together.
So let's say I came to you wanting to attract a woman. What would you advise?
I wouldn't think you have any trouble attracting women, Mr. Knight.
No, I guess I don't. So what advice do you give your clients?
I tell them to follow the light, be aware of the darkness, and always get expert spiritual advice from someone with the sight.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Ja, das war eigentlich sehr allgemein gehalten, ne?
Give me an example of Gree-Gree.
All right, here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match. A spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Give me an example of Gree-Gree.
Here's an old hoodoo, Dr. Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue. If the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Aha.
Give me an example of Gree-Gree.
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
Give me an example of Gree-Gree.
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or shoe that belongs to that person. Put graveyard dirt in it and bury it under their front steps.
Does that work?
I don't know. I never tried it.
Give me an example of gris-gris.
To ensure the safety of your child, cut a lock of its hair while it is still a baby and keep it with you. The child must have all its hair before it can die.
These are interesting.
They're very old. The gris-gris that I prepare is much more powerful, I can assure you. But I don't give out those secrets.
Okay, das mit den Haaren habe ich nicht so ganz verstanden. Ja, das Kind muss alle Haare haben, bevor es sterben kann. Dann sind doch eigentlich alle Leute, die einmal in ihrem Leben beim Friseur waren, unsterblich. Ja, oder verstehe ich da was falsch?
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Where did you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me, monsieur. I'm sure they know better than we.
Na, wenn du das sagst.
How did you learn how to handle Grimwald?
I told you, a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Uh-huh. Fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gris-gris of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
Are you sure you wouldn't consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
I told you, I couldn't do that.
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
So, das ist jetzt gleich unsere Gelegenheit. Wenn sie die Schlange da rausholt und mit ihrem Tanz beschäftigt ist. Das ist nicht sonderlich beeindruckend
grabs a
tatsächlich.
shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied.
Oder? Sind Schlangentänze immer so aus? Ja, die hat sich doch nur die Schlange auf die Schultern gelegt und hat so ein bisschen mit dem Arsch gewackelt. Ja, das kann ich gerade auch noch. Wenn ich mich dazu überwinden kann, eine Schlange auf meine Schultern zu legen.
Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. Could I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Tell me anything at all.
You have to be careful when handling a snake. They're more delicate than they look.
I'll bet. Tell me anything at all.
Many people are afraid of snakes. Isn't that silly?
Totally.
Total.
Tell me anything at all.
Snakes shed their skins from time to time. You have to be especially careful of them when they're shedding.
I'll keep it in mind. Tell me anything at all.
Grimwald is very responsive to vibration. She doesn't recognize her name, but if I stomp 3 times, she looks right at me.
Nothing. Never mind.
All right.
So. Der Moment der Wahrheit ist gekommen. Das Thema, von dem das Spiel sagt, dass das wirklich relevant ist, in unserer Unterhaltung mit Madame Moonbeam.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year.
Und das ist morgen.
There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild. They wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Ach, wirklich? Aha. Nun gut, als große Expertin der Voodoo-Kunst. Gut, sie hat ja gesagt, mit WWs kann sie nichts anfangen, aber vielleicht kennt sie ja den Voodoo-Code, wenn sie tatsächlich von der großen Voodoo-Königin Tabitha ausgebildet worden ist. Woher kenne ich den Namen eigentlich? Wo hatten wir noch eine Tabitha oder Tabitha? In irgendeiner Telltale-Geschichte oder irgendwas? Ich weiß es gar nicht.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Ah, the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
I'm afraid I could never translate this code for an outsider such as yourself, Monsieur Knight.
Sie denkt also, wir wären ein Outsider. Und wenn ich ihr jetzt den Armreif zeige, das hat ja bei Crush auch funktioniert.
Does this mean anything to you?
It's beautiful. I love it.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, but if you know where I can buy one...
Sorry, it would be rather hard to find one these days.
Oh, well, so be it.
Sie macht also jetzt spontan erstmal nicht den Eindruck, als ob sie eine der wirklich Eingeweihten des Voodoo ist. Und sonst hätte sie ja mit dem Armreif was anfangen können. Okay, wie können wir sie vielleicht noch überzeugen? Denn wir brauchen diese scheiß Code-Übersetzung.
Does this mean anything to you?
These are magical symbols.
Nennt man auch WW.
Deep magic.
Hast du gesagt, hast du keine Ahnung von.
Really? Have you seen them before?
No.
And how do you know they're magic symbols?
Seeker, my eyes are unveiled to see truly that which is in front of me.
Uh-huh. Thanks, ton.
Ja gut, werden wir hier überlegen, wie wir weitermachen.
Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from Magenta Moonbeam snake. The snake scales are hued brown. They don't match the scales from Lake Pontchartrain.
Okay, Grimwald war also auch nicht die Schlange, die bei den Voodoo-Morden zugegen war. Allmählich gehen uns in diesem Spiel so ein bisschen die Schlangen aus, Leute. Was könnten wir ihr noch zeigen? Die Schlangentätowierung vielleicht?
That doesn't seem to work that way. That doesn't seem...
Okay, die Notizen ist auch nicht.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Yes, but we don't use those anymore.
Das halte ich für ein Gerücht. Vielleicht der Voodoo-Artikel?
That doesn't work that way.
Could you look at this and tell me if you recognize anything about it?
That's from those voodoo murders, isn't it? That has nothing to do with me.
Also beschäftigen wir uns jetzt wirklich schon 20 Minuten einzig und allein damit mit dieser Frau zu reden? Und dann kommen wir nicht mal vorwärts. Sie übersetzt den scheiß Code nicht für uns.
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
Are you sure you can't translate this for me?
As I said, it's a very secret code.
Surely you can see I'm trying to learn as much as I can here. How am I supposed to become an insider if you won't help me?
That's true, I suppose. Perhaps if the Loa were to grant you their approval.
How do I get that?
By using my Ask the Loa machine.
A machine?
Yes. A spirit guided me to it years ago in an antique store. And its guidance has never faltered. I trust it implicitly.
I see.
The spirits often work in mysterious ways, Mr. Knight. If you aren't willing to ask.
No, I'll ask. Let's see here.
Was? Jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, was? Das ist neu. Das ist neu, das gab's im Original nicht. T, S und Ed. Vielleicht Trust. Oh Gott. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich hier bilden soll. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich hier bilden soll. Vor allem ein deutsches Wort? Was habe ich hier? Hier hinten ist Auswahl S und D. S und D. E, G, N. Ja. Warte mal, wieso Start? Trusted Friend. Trusted Friend, okay. Also erstmal C. So. Sehen wir erstmal zu, dass wir hier vorwärts kommen. Ich komme mir vor wie ein Grimtales hier gerade. So, guck mal. Da steht Trusted Friend. Oh,
Well
Alter.
done, Mr. Knight. You have earned the Loa's approval.
Da muss man erstmal
Truly,
drauf
it's an
kommen,
honor.
ne?
Now, about that code.
Let me see.
Meine Güte. So ein doofes Rätsel. Und dabei gleichzeitig so billig, ne?
Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever wrote this wasn't very good.
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and J. Then, okay, this part makes sense. It says, conclave tonight, bring, well, then there's more nonsense. F-W-E-T-K-A-S-H. The last bit might mean cash. Fresh cash? Doesn't make much sense.
That's okay. Thanks. DJ Conclave K-A-S-H. It's a start.
I'm happy I could help.
DJ, ja? Da steht DJ, da steht wirklich DJ. Lass uns das nochmal kurz angucken.
Gabriel gazes at the translation of the code that Moonbeam gave him, pondering who wrote it and for whom it was meant.
DJ. Conclave tonight. Bring Fred Cash. Ja, DJ. Konklave heute Abend. Bring Fred Cash. Was ein Fred Cash ist, das wissen wir seit dem Voodoo-Vortrag in der Universität. Das ist diese zeremonielle Peitsche oder wie das Ding. Irgendwie sowas in der Art auf jeden Fall. Macht also absolut Sinn. Und DJ... Oh, ist das interessant. Ich kenne nur einen DJ, der in irgendeiner Art und Weise mit Voodoo zu tun hat. Und ihr? Ich glaube, wir müssen los. Danke, Madame Moonbeam.
Well, I guess I'll be going now.
As you wish.
Das hat mir
May
sehr
the
weitergeholfen.
protection of the snake god go with you.
Thanks.
Ich glaube, wir statten DJ mal einen kurzen Besuch ab. Findet ihr nicht auch? Vielleicht können wir ihn ja mit unserem Wissen konfrontieren, um irgendwas Neues zu erfahren. Vielleicht bringen wir uns damit aber auch in absolute Lebensgefahr. Wer weiß es schon. Hallo?
Why is it so dark in here?
Oh oh. Guck mal da hinten rechts.
Dr. John? Hello?
Guck mal da oben links. Oh oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, das ist die erste Phase, wo wir sterben könnten. Wenn wir nicht genau wüssten, was der Schwachpunkt dieser Schlange hier ist.
Bastard!
Ja, sie reagiert sehr empfindlich auf das Belüftungssystem, das wussten wir ja.
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did. I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see. We were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door the next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. John. Oh, auf den Schreck vielleicht erstmal einen Kaffee.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
You're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
There's something in the ashtray.
Genau. Der Erzähler sagt, da ist irgendetwas im Aschenbecher. Und der Text sagt, der Aschenbecher ist leer. Gucken wir uns das doch mal etwas genauer an, was da im Aschenbecher liegt.
There's a snake scale in the ashtray.
Aha. Schau mal, einer guckt. Und guckt mal, Leute.
Gabriel can't see a way to use that.
Ja, okay, warte, machen wir es anders.
Gabriel finds a snake scale in the ashtray. It's a souvenir from the museum's python. Gabriel magnifies the snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python. It's a snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python.
Ja, okay, sie lacht. Kann ich irgendwie kombinieren? Ja,
He
kann ich.
places the two scales together. The two iridescent scales are a perfect match.
Leute, ich glaube, wir haben unsere Schlange gefunden und damit ist jetzt auch klar, wer der gute DJ ist. Da spricht nämlich jemand mit unserem guten Dr. John und der hat definitiv etwas mit den Voodoo-Morden zu tun. Zumindest wissen wir mit absoluter Sicherheit, dass die Museumsschlange in der Nacht des Mordes am See war. Jetzt wird's spannend, Leute. In der nächsten Folge von Gabriel Knight. Bis dann.